Yeah?
Yeah.
So if one of you was able to sort of make more money than everybody else, that would be useful for you, yes? Yeah? Okay, in that case you really want to pay attention to what I'm going to share with you. We've got 3 presenters. Myself, first of all, I'm going to share with you how to create your brand, how to position yourself, and how to get the industry around the world as well to pay attention to you. Then we're going to have an amazing Barbara Cardelli, and she's been in, how long have you been out here?
15 years.
15 years.
Sorry,
Only just, I know,
half of you.
not quite there, but you look a lot better anyway. Round of applause for Barbara, please. So Barbara's background is she used to work in the Formula One when she helped set it up, and she was involved in how to get the very highest level sponsors to come along to the world's most prestigious events and spend a ton of money. So if you're interested in understanding how to produce something that really hits the top end of people with money to work with you, maybe even buying real estate, then you need to check that out with Barbara as well. And then we've got my dear friend, who's my brother from another mother, Professor Christian Farioli. Round of applause for him. With his gorgeous wife, Gianna. I have to say that, girls, he's taken. Okay, I am as well, because I'm on camera, so I've got to say that. I've known this guy for ages, and over about 20 years, and he is by far in the region the #1 digital marketer when it comes to understanding what the internet will do for you and what you can do to be able to raise your game using digital means. He's now branching off into AI and so on, and he's going to share with you how to create an event that's packed out. So if you're interested in knowing exactly how to do that and how to tap into people's psyche and to get it all come together online, then that's a great presentation that's going to really work for you. So I'm going to start off as soon as I find the clicker, which is here. And Christian's videoing it. So far he's got like 10 minutes on my backside. I don't know why, because his wife's watching, but anyway, there we go. So I'm going to be sharing this with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, what I'm going to be doing is when we set off in probably about 45 minutes time or so, we have nowhere else to go. So if you want to ask any questions, we are all here for you to ask any questions. It's not we can jump into the car and go. That's not how it works. So can you all see the screen if I move out of the way? I don't think there's an easy place for me to stand where that happens. So there we are. That's my name in big letters because I have a massive ego, as you probably worked out. Not really. But the thing is, and this is what I want to share with you, whenever you work out who somebody is, the most important question to ask is this, and this is true for you in real estate, it's true for you in working in manufacturing. Whenever you meet anybody, the only question that matters is what's in it for them from you. They don't care who you are, they don't care what you've done, they only care about what they get from that relationship. So in 34 seconds, I'm going to share with you exactly what I bring to the table.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've hosted over 1,000 events, and there's nothing more exciting or nerve-wracking than getting to introduce one of the best in the business. He's an award-winning international motivational speaker and coach. He's worked with celebrities like James Brown and Bruce Willis. And I'm Jack Canfield. And I'm Brian Tracy. And I'm John Gray. I'm Jared Bobby. And I'm Kerry Marshall. 1, 2, 3. Audiences of over 1 billion people. He's sharing how to become unstoppable in business. It's my honor to introduce to you davecrane.
Now I get a round of applause. Right. Now here's the important thing about having that there. The amount of times that I go on stage and I get introduced as this davecrane, I walk on and people just stare. It's important nowadays when everyone's connected and everyone can Google you to have a brand that people can see. And if they don't see it immediately, sometimes you need to share that with them. I'm going to ask you a question, and the question's there behind me. What does society value most? What's the most valuable thing that societies across the globe for the last 2,000 years, every nationality, every religion, every country values most? Feel free to shout out, it's interactive. Money? Not money.
Connections.
Family? No.
Happiness.
Happiness? No.
Time.
Not even time. I'll put you out your misery because otherwise this will go on forever. It's this, status. The most valuable thing that you have is your ability to position yourself as the very best at what you do. Now let me explain a bit more about that. And I'm not saying not family and not love and all the rest of it. That's important, but your status is what drives your bank account, and your status is what drives people to want to work with you. So here's a very quick look at this. And feel free, by the way, to, if you connect with me, do a WhatsApp swap, I'll send you this presentation. So you can, for anything you miss, if you want to take photos now, you can do, but otherwise it's not going to matter too much. 3 areas. First of all, your dominance, your success, and your virtue. Let me explain. So the dominance would be somebody like, for instance, Leon Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, dominating football, best in the world. They don't need to explain anything, they're just great at doing it. Success would be someone like Elon Musk, clearly the richest man in the world. Even if you don't like him, you've got to respect the fact that this is who he is and this is what he does. And virtue would be somebody like the Pope or like Michelle Obama, who's somebody who sticks with what they says and do what they do. These are important because put these things together and that positions you as an industry icon and it positions you and your status at the very top level. So what you have to do, as in today and as in for the rest of your career, is consider that you need to establish trust and credibility. Once you've established trust and credibility, people will buy from you. If you haven't got that, then you're always chasing them and trying to say, come on, choose me. But here's the thing, it's really challenging to use that as a metric when you're begging, when we should be able to find you, Google you, and even better, be recommended by you. So here's the thing, personal branding, according to Forbes magazine, is one of the top 7 in-demand skills for 2024. If you haven't started building your personal brand, this is the time you really need to consider doing it. It's so important. Now, your brand is what people say about you when you leave a room. So when you leave this boat, you'll be talking about what your experience is, and when you leave, you want people to say, oh yeah, I remember that person, really great to connect with them. If they're not doing that, then you need to work out exactly what they should be saying, and also the impression that you make. So how do you use all this to succeed? Well, let me share this with you. There's a thing here, I don't know if you can see this guy behind me, I'll just move to one side. He's got a very big moustache. So imagine a guy gets a call. There's a factory, and the factory has been working, creating widgets, creating tables or something like that, and suddenly the machine breaks down. The whole factory doesn't work. And so what they do is they call this guy who used to work at the factory. He walks in, he has a look around, and it's been off all weekend. They've lost about $20 million worth of business because it's been broken down. He has a look around, he opens his little bag, takes out a hammer, takes the top off one of the areas, looks in, taps it, closes it again, presses a red button, and all the machinery starts up. Amazing. The boss is super happy. He says, that's fantastic. What can I do to help you with this? So he turns around and he gives him an invoice for $100,000. $100,000. Of course, the boss is going, what? $100,000? You're only there for 2 minutes? Why am I paying you all that money? So he took the invoice back and he wrote on it exactly this. And this is what you need to remember. If you want to put your phones on silent, that'd be brilliant. Otherwise, we sell them on eBay. Okay, so here's the thing. Tapping with a hammer is worth $2, but knowing where to tap is worth 98,990, whatever it is. I'm not looking, it's behind me. But you get the idea. When people work with you in your industry, they want to know that you're a one-stop shop to deliver exactly what it is that they need. Okay, so the formula for being paid is this. Does anybody know why you get paid what you get paid? This might be useful for you. Who gets paid a lot of money? Oh, you're not admitting it now, are you? I can see by the watches it's not true, you have got money. How many people get paid really good money? Okay. How many people are overpaid? There you go, at least he admits it. Here's the thing, does anybody know why you get paid what you get paid and other people get paid what they get paid? The guys who are standing on the gates and letting people in get paid a certain fee. Well, let me tell you exactly what it is. You get paid for 2 things. First of all, the job that you do, the impact of a job that you do, and secondly, how cheaply you can be replaced by somebody else. Now remember this is probably the most important metric you'll get out of today's session. The job you do, the impact of a job you do, and how easily they can get somebody else. Right now in this room, the majority of the room is real estate, which means you can access and sell almost any building in this place. So why should they choose you? If you can't answer that question, then somebody who can answer that question will get all your potential business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Excellent. Is that useful for you?
Yep.
Good. Well, tell your face. Like that. It's like being at school or in prison. No, I don't know that. All right. So let's go through this. I'm telling you all this because your expertise is invaluable. Not just valuable, invaluable. You've been in Dubai for a long time. You've been in the real estate industry. You've got through the pandemic. You're doing all the stuff you're doing right now. People need to know how good you are at doing what you do. And so that means that people will pay extra for that knowledge, for that expertise that you bring to the table. Do you have to blend it in with the way that you charge people? Maybe, but they will pay a premium for the very best in the market. So prove that you can help people. That's your job. As much evidence as you can create to say to anybody, I'm the best at what I do. So what's that mean? Well, there's a lot of people in this room. How many people here don't like to stand up and speak in public? How many people don't even like somebody who asks them, you don't like to stand up and speak in public? Put your hand up if you don't like speaking in public. Put your hand up if you do like speaking in public. Put your hand up if you've got a sweat patch. I just want to see who's hot on the... No, joking. All right. Most people, like 80-90% of people, have imposter syndrome. It's a fear inside their mind that says, I'm not as good as I want to be, and everyone's going to find out. Anybody ever experienced that? I certainly have experienced it many times. Well, there's a way of dealing with it, and I may go through this in this time, but here's the thing. Imposter syndrome affects almost everybody, but there's a way of harnessing it. And this might be useful for you, it might be useful for your staff. But one thing is for sure, the way you are born, where you're born, what your nationality is, what your gender preference is, what your religion is, what your different connections are, all the things are a lucky life lottery. All these things you get no control over. You are you once you're born, and you can build from that. Now, does it mean that you're all going to be equal? No, not at all. Some people have an advantage over others, but that's not where the game ends. Let me explain to that. You can create the version of yourself that you truly want to be. Let me explain more about how you put that in action. So first question is asking yourself, who are you? Now, I know you've got business cards that you can share with everybody, but your business card is not who you are. Your business card is a version of your office that you want to be able to share with people so they get an idea about what you do, but that's not who you are. People nowadays have got more business cards than they can be bothered. How many people get business cards and go, oh, thank you so much, and never even look at it because it's too much hard work? And no, everyone's saying, no, we don't do that, Dave. Yes, you do. I know you do, because I do sometimes. Here's a challenge. You've got to tell people and share with people why they need to connect with you. Now, I'm going to give you a way of getting over imposter syndrome. I'm going to teach you how to be a superhero in your business. And I guarantee that once I've shown you this, you'll find yourself in a position where you can get anything you want from anybody you want. But only if you want me to show you.
Yes, please.
Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
All right, hands up who wants to see.
Yes.
Right, I'll turn you into superheroes. Right, 3 things. First thing that happens to you in your life is you're born with a birth certificate. That birth certificate you is a version of you that sends you to school. So in my case, that's David Maxwell Crane, that's me, that's my mom, that's my dad. That little cushion with a face on it is me being very small. Long time ago. 8,000 years it was. So, yeah, thank you so much, yeah. So, here's the thing. You were born, you got your birth certificate, you go to school, and you try and work out who you can be from that. You go to school, you've got friends, you've got challenges, good things, bad things, but there's a second version of you. The second version of you is a social media version of you. That's the one that's in the room right now, pretty much. So if you were to say connect with me on LinkedIn, or connect with me on Instagram, or on Facebook, or whatever your choice is, TikTok, then that version of you is an enhanced version of you that's always smiling, always selling property, always winning the lottery, and always looks gorgeous. True? No, clearly not. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? And how many people actually find it toxic to scroll through other people's stuff? And you go, everyone else is doing better than me, I don't like this anymore. I got sick of doing that. I got sick of it, but I still post my stuff anyway. So that's the version of you, the social media version of you. This is me, Dave Crane, created from David Maxwell Crane. That's my wife, my daughter, and as you can see, clearly we've got very bad dandruff. It was a joke. It was snowing in the UK when we took the picture. Okay. So, therefore, how do you reinvent yourself? How do you become a superhero? This is what I want to share with you. Each of you has got a skill. Each of you does something really well. It might be selling, it might be calculating, it might be connecting with people, there's a bit sometimes. How many people find it easy to sell face to face? Okay, quite a few, fantastic. How many people find it easier to be online and do stuff like creating proposals and they convert really well, and you go into the zone and you do it really, really well? Not many people go into it, you do that, very good. But there's a side to you that when you tap into, you're really, really, really good at doing stuff. And it might be face to face, it might be when you're in the gym, it might be when you're doing something. there's a version of you that is better than the version on social media, but you don't tap into it very often, you just use it at strategic times. Well, here's what I want to introduce to you. That becomes a third version of you. That's your superhero version. That's your power name. Now we're going to give it a nickname. I want you to think of a name that you had maybe at school, or a name that's maybe your middle name, or something that when you step up, does everybody understand what I mean about going into the zone?
Yeah.
Anybody not understand it? Okay, you do understand it, good. So that zone version of you, you only normally tap into when there's a challenge. But imagine you could tap into that more often. Imagine you could wear that more often. That's what I'm sharing with you. So here's my version, that's Max. So I'll show you where Max came from. During the pandemic, as a speaker and as a host and training people to speak and brand, I had no work for 2 years during the pandemic. So when the work started coming back again, I wasn't ready to deal with it. My social media number 2 power name wasn't ready to go back into business because I'd had a challenging time for 2 years. So I thought to myself, as a hypnotist and a life coach, what can I do to raise my game? And I thought, when you hold a microphone and you've got a room full of people or a stadium full of people, how do you raise that game? You just know you can make things happen. What if you let him make that decision for you and you wait at the back? So therefore, when clients came to me and they did the usual thing of, oh yeah, I'm interested, can you send me a proposal? You send them a proposal and then you say, well, what's happened? Can we have an update? And they don't come back to you. Say, is anything updated? I'm just talking to my boss. Have you talked to your boss? Has anybody experienced that before? Or do your clients instantly pay you immediately?
Always.
That chasing bit. Well, I decided to ask Max, what should I do? And Max said to me, and please, I am not mad, by the way. You understand the process so far. Max is just me, a different version of me. Max said to me, well, why don't you give them 48 hours and then tell them that the contract is off the table? I thought, you can't do that. What if you lose a client? But I said, okay, I'll give them 48 hours. And I lost a lot of clients, but I converted a lot of clients. And I didn't waste a second on those that didn't convert. I thought, this is all right. So now I wear Max more often. The only time I don't wear Max is at home, because my wife is more scary than Max, and my daughter. But outside, when I'm doing business, Max does it. And that's the reason why I was hosting at the World Economic Forum in Davos about, a month ago. Christian was there as well. And I've got some incredible events. I'm doing Leap and so on. Some of the biggest events in the world I'm hosting now. Why? Because Max booked them. The old me would have gone, well, I'll wait till they get back to me. I don't do that anymore. So let's get through to that. Imagine what your super powered name is, and I want you to start experimenting with that version of you. I know it sounds silly. How many people understand what I mean? Okay, I want you to, from this point onward, whenever you've got a challenge, ask that version of you what you should do. But you can't ignore it. You have to pay attention to it, otherwise you'll kill it. I'll explain more later on if you need to. I'll be around. Okay, so with that, this is me now, and this is what I do. Very quickly, this is how it comes together. Stage, that's what I send before I go on. Whenever I go to events and so on, that's what I put forward. That's Max, and that feels comfortable doing it. I know many of you won't have that, and you don't need to have that. But what I want you to do is start thinking, what would your version of this be? And would it be a written version? What's your signature message? What do you send to the world? What do you share with them that makes them want to work closer with you than anybody else? It is a process, but you want to be positioned as the very best in your industry. And you can reinvent that version of you for every new client or for every new challenge, just like we do with James Bond. So, when we're talking about events, or we're talking about real estate, or we're talking about any other version of it, you want to create a legacy. That legacy is what people can find about you. And most people think a legacy should be something that's there after you die. Well, why would you wait that long? Why not create it now so you can see it and you can add to it, so people can be part of your legacy? People can appreciate you. Because here's the thing, 5 minutes after we die, only the people who really loved you will be upset. Everyone else will just go, oh, okay, I'm gonna move on and Google for somebody else. It's a sad truth, but it is a truth. So therefore, while you're here, make the most of it. Let people know who you are. Let people know that they can buy from you and do business with you. Let them know that you're a thought leader and you're positioned really well. Now, when I train people to do it, I have a number of different things. I'm not going to share all these different ideas with you, but this is what I teach people with the Industry Icon program, and my clients are all across the world in all kinds of different industries. Now, what I want to do is give you a free gift. You're going to need your phone for this, so get your phone out for this, and I'll give you a free gift. I've got a book which is coming out, and it's called the Thought Leader's Handbook, Thought Leader's Playbook. I'm going to give you a chance to download this copy of it. You can do it online while the internet's still here, unless you've moved so far away that the internet doesn't work, in which case you have to wait until next time you see me and see if you recognize Dave Crane then, and then I might do it for you. So here's the thing. I'm going to move to one side. Here's the QR code. If you register for this, you get a copy of this, an advanced copy, before it comes out. It's due out very shortly, and it's going to be packaged. I launched this at Davos, at the World Economic Forum. And for those of you who got too far to get a copy of it, then tough. You have to buy it from Amazon like everybody else. Okay, just want to get a copy? Alright. Perfect, fantastic. So just go to the website, and very quickly, these are the biggest hitters in the industry. You might recognize some of these names, you might not, but trust me, they're really big, and they're sharing all their insights into what the book has done for them and what they'd recommend. So now I want you to reinvent yourself. You have the ability to be a business rock star. Right now on this boat, we've probably got about 40, 50 people in this room. I know it's kind of hot, which is a bit of a challenge, but this must be in real estate, I'm guessing 3,000, 4,000 people in the real estate industry in Dubai alone. You are now probably 1,000. 18,000, oh my goodness. Well, now we have 40, 50 people who have a massive advantage over everybody else. Well, they're just turning up and saying, please, please, please. You create this brand around you, you position yourself as a thought leader, and so when you do meet your clients, they can Google you and they can find the impact that you will make for them straight away. And that will jump you to the head of the queue and make them want to work with you. So I'm going to leave it there with this. This is my final slide for anybody who didn't take a copy of it. Then you have a chance to get it. I'll move out the way just so you can get a copy. Go online and download it. Just register, leave your details. And I hope that's been useful for you. It's a crash course on how to build your brand. And I hope it's been useful for you. My name is Dave Crane. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. You want to do the next bit?
No, I think we'll give a quick break, get some fresh air, come back here and have a session.
Yeah.
Cruise has started.